Tree of Might was great. You had, like, I think it was like another movie with a mean Saiyan. I think there's another Saiyan who comes, who might actually also look exactly like Goku. Like, I think he had hair like Goku, but the hair is kind of, it like flips up instead of like
on the side,
bending over.
So like a Vegeta.
No,
it's like a halfway Goku Vegeta, like a Gogeta.
I want you to picture
like
Goku's hair in your head, right?
Yeah,
you know how it kind of goes up and then kind of bends down.
Yeah,
I think it looked exactly the same, but instead of bending down, it kind of curved upward.
We're talking like all those characters don't look exactly the same anyway. Like every character that dude has ever made.
This one's even more the same, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
like Dragon Quest is just a game about different looking Gokus.
Don't want. Oh my god. Yeah, like it's one thing in Dragon Ball Z for so many characters to look so similar, but it's when you start looking at any other art Akira Toriyama has ever done, and you're just like, okay, this guy can make like 3 characters.
It's 3, admittedly, well drawn characters.
They look nice.
They look good.
I mean, because really, I come to Dragon Ball Z for the story, obviously.
Wait, yeah, right?
Yeah, sure. Now, Tree of Might had Mean Saiyan comes, and this was like when...
Gross!
What?
I kind of wasn't listening to what you were saying and just like snapped back in at Mean Saiyan comes.
Oh, okay, great, Keith. You're real fucking mature. Jesus.
Thank you. That's why this show is 18 plus.
I think it's early. It's early in Dragon Ball Z, where I think it's in between the period when I think when Raditz comes and when Vegeta and Nappa show up.
Why didn't you get that flower?
I don't know. I'm just trying not to die. Killing it.
Yeah, I don't know why I've never seen any of the Dragon Ball Z movies. I'm at a point where now I don't really want to.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I've been. That's the point I've been at for
you know what?
Many years.
You know what? You should watch them.
Yeah.
I want to know what Keith in 2015 thinks of the Dragon Ball Z movies.
I bet that if I was 13, I would fucking love them.
One of my favorites was one that takes place in the years after the Cell Saga when Goku's dead, and he's in. It has like all like the weird like. What was the thing? It was like not the World Tournament, but like the Galactic Universe.
I can't remember what it was called, but it
had PyCon.
Fucking PyCon, yeah.
Remember PyCon?
Yeah, the not Namek.
Yeah.
He was a Namek, but he wasn't a Namek.
He totally wasn't, but he totally was.
He totally was.
I think the Grand Kai.
He was the dragon. He was the Dragon Quest to Goku's. Wait. Make an analogy in your own heads about Goku and Dragon Quest and Nameks and PyCon.
I can't do that.
You can't? You can't follow that train?
I don't really know where you're going with that now.
You're just not good at analogies then, jerk.
I mean, apparently neither are you, because you can't do it.
I just lost my train of thought because I'm looking at this game. What, yeah, and there's that scene with PyCon where PyCon takes off his weighted stuff and drops it and it explodes, and then Goku's like, yeah, but me too. And he drops it.
That's like... Oh, it's so ridiculous, but that's basically the bread and butter of, like, Dragon Ball Z, right?
Yeah.
It's like
all of Dragon Ball Z is that scene
stuff
from The Princess Bride where they both were using the wrong hand.
Yeah, exactly. it's just that, and then
new forms, new final forms.
It's taken to like a more and more extreme each time. So like the first time it happens, it's because like a guy has like a heavy shirt on, but then by the end of the series, it's like, actually, I evolved 6 more times, and each time I'm more powerful. Did you think I was ultimate before? Because I have 8 more forms. My head will change shape each time.
And my final form, it just looks like regular me.
My favorite form of Frieza was the weird one where his head is all long, and he's in that form for like 2 seconds. What
is it? Third form?
I think it's his third form, I think, yeah. But I'm not sure if I only like it because he's only in it for like 2 seconds. Okay. Need that key, right? That's right. Am I egging this guy? What am I doing here?
I think you're egging this guy. Dragon Ball Z's weird.
I liked Dragon Ball Z so much.
Me too. Yeah.
As a kid.
It was, yeah. Are you gonna get, what is it fucking called? Xenoverse? Are you gonna get Xenoverse?
No,
you don't want to make your own Saiyan? Come on, just for fun. Let's both get Xenoverse.
Oh.
It'll be fucking great.
Fine. We'll for the sake of Run Button, we will get one copy of Xenoverse, and we will create our own Saiyan and save the world. How about that?
All right, I'll buy it because I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna buy it.
All right, you buy Dragon Ball Xenoverse, and then never let me hear a single more complaint about you not having enough money because you're spending money on Dragon Ball Xenoverse.
Well, I haven't bought it yet, or at all.
He's a little. All right, jeez.
Aw, look at his little eyes.
Yeah, he's a little sad. He's a little sad boy.
I haven't bought a game. The last game I bought was Dragon Age Inquisition. If the next game that I buy since Dragon Age Inquisition is Dragon Ball Xenoverse,
then you need to commit to only buying games that start with the word dragon for the entire year.
Yeah. Darkest Dungeon out.
Yep. Nope. No, I think in that movie that has PyCon, it's a bunch of, there's like, the afterlife world gets a hole in it, and like a bunch of dead guys all get out, and like one of them is Hitler, and then there's Gotenks, and he makes like an army of his weird ghost Gotenks, and they fight like Hitler's army. Like,
what?
That happens. That's a thing that happens. It's like Hitler's ghost army versus Gotenks' ghost Gotenks army.
What?
Yeah.
What is this?
That's like one of the subplots in that movie.
Which movie?
I don't remember.
Vegemite?
Because before they came out in English, each one just kind of had a number. So I think it's like movie 13 or something, but I don't remember what it was. Ended up being called, like some fucking garbage. The strongest in the universe. It's also, I think it's the only appearance of Gogeta.
Yeah.
Which was when Goku and Vegeta do the fusion dance.
Instead of the earrings.
Instead of the earrings, yeah.
You know, I bet Vegeta was not into that dance. I bet he was very grumpy about having to do that dance.
I think he was a little grumpy about it. I think actually Vegeta cries in that movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think that... I bet he calls him Kakarot a couple times. Like, he usually calls him Goku, but he calls him Kakarot a couple times.
He never calls him Goku. That's Vegeta.
Ever?
Name. No, I don't
I'm
think
sure that he does.
No.
Doesn't he switch over at some point?
No. Never ever, I think. Because it's not his name, Keith. Understand, please.
Could have sworn he switched over.
Nah.
It's been a while.
What? I don't like this at all. What's happening here?
Yeah.
Am I already at a new castle? Is that what happened?
Yeah, you're in a castle now. Can't you tell by Song of Storms?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm allowed to be poor and still buy Dragon Ball Xenoverse.
No, you're not.
I absolutely am.
Well, you're allowed to. You're just not allowed to complain about not having.
Well, what's that? What is it? What is that? $40? It can't be a full 60.
Oh, it can't be?
It shouldn't be.
I think it can and it is.
Is it?
I don't know.
Ugh. Whatever. I don't buy anything fun. So it's like if I have like $60 a month.
So your one fun thing is gonna be Dragon Ball Xenoverse?
Yeah, sure.
Keith, I think you're doing this all wrong.
I don't know. I want to make a Saiyan. I don't care about.
Listen, I'm not gonna say that making your own Saiyan doesn't sound like something that might be fun.
I'm gonna make my own Saiyan. He's gonna be cool. He's gonna travel through time. into all the different eras of Dragon Ball Z and help all of my fucking favorite Z characters.
You know what he's definitely gonna fucking have?
What?
Definitely gonna have a Scouter.
He's definitely gonna have a Scouter.
I don't know if it has to be a Saiyan or if it can just be anything.
It has to be a Saiyan.
It does?
Yeah. Well, they have to be a Saiyan.
You seem to know a lot about Xenoverse.
They have to be a Saiyan, but they don't have to, like, be a from Saiyan Planet Saiyan.
Oh, you're talking about Planet Vegeta.
Yes, I'm talking about Planet Vegeta.
Fuck you, game. I'm just gonna tackle each floor here. I'll
tell you this: no girl Saiyans.
No girl Saiyans?
Yeah, isn't that fucking ridiculous?
What?
Yeah, you just can't. Isn't that ridiculous? Oh, there's another one of these cute guys.
Oh, I got him.
It was adorable. His eyes. Look at his eyes.
He's adorable, and he had to die.
He had to die.
Thank you. I didn't even know that I wanted to make a Lady Saiyan until you told me I couldn't, and then I realized.
Well, you just like almost universally do lady characters.
I almost universally, yeah.
Right. Yep. It just doesn't even make any sense why they would not let you do that.
There aren't any female Saiyans in Dragon Ball. Except there's Pan.
Who, like, who almost goes Super Saiyan one time, and then they make her not go Super Saiyan or something.
It's too bad.
This close. It's fucking ridiculous.
God. When will females get to be Super Saiyans?
Probably never at this rate.
God. Well, I'm disgusted.
In fan fiction, that's where.
Yeah, exactly.
In fan fiction from 100 years ago. I feel like this would not do super well.
It's super well on lava, yeah.
Unless this is just a river of blood. Have we ruled out that this is a river of blood?
It's not ruled out.
Because there was lava before, and that was orange.
You're right. Yeah, I think you're onto something here. I think this is a river of blood. This is thrilling.
This is super thrilling. I
must say.
I'm thrilled.
Oh, here's a bigger one. A bigger wave. The waves are bigger now.
This is almost as exciting as a log flume.
This is almost as exciting as I assume Dragon Ball Xenoverse is. I'm sure you've seen the logo. It's Dragon Ball XV.
Those games, you know those games are fun. You know those games are fun games. Like, there can be bad ones or better ones and worse ones, but those games are pretty much universally the same quality and all fun.
I think I might be past the point where I think Dragon Ball Z games are fun.
But here's the difference. You bought a fucking ton of them, and
I didn't buy that many of them.
I never owned any of them.
I think I bought... You owned...
This will be the only Dragon Ball Z game I've ever bought was Legacy of Goku for the Game Boy Advance.
Did you ever play 2?
No.
1 was a steaming pile of garbage. 2 was a lot of fun.
I liked 1 because it was a grindy nonsense I could play on the school bus.
Yeah, that's what the second one was too, but it was good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't even know there was a sequel until one time we were talking about this.
There's a third one.
There's a third one?
It wasn't called Legacy of Goku, though. It was called Boo's Fury.
Oh.
That one I have one of those things where, like, I borrowed it from a friend and I never gave it back and they never asked for it back and I just have it now. Did anyone say anything to me?
When?
Did I... Like, just now, like, did anyone be like, oh, Yoshi, you're... here's the monster. I'm a witch.
I don't remember. Listen to this. I fucking love the boss music, though.
Uh-oh. Hey, now. You're an all-star.
Yeah, so you had several of those games. You had some of the, you had a lot. You had a few of the Budokai games. You had the
Yeah, I think all the games are in the Tenkaichi style now, and I only had the first one of those. Because I played the second one, and I was just like, I'm not into this anymore.
I could have sworn you had 3 of those.
I had Budokai 1, 2, and 3, and then I had Budokai Tenkaichi.
Okay, yeah. So that's 4.
Yeah, so I had 4 of them. But the Tenkaichi one was basically like a different game.
Did I ever tell you about my weird thing with Final Bout? The fucking garbage game?
Everyone had a weird thing with Final Bout.
Well, it was a game that I always wanted so badly.
Of course, because it was the only one. Oh, there it goes. It's dead now.
It was the only one what?
It was the only, like, Dragon Ball Z game that was even marginally released in America.
Well,
up until a point.
Because my experience with Dragon Ball Z games was that I had like basically all of the Super Nintendo Dragon Ball Z games that I played all the time on emulator.
In ROMs.
And ROMs, yeah. And
I remember, like, me and my friends played a bunch of those, and we were, like, so dumb that we couldn't even figure out how to throw fireballs.
Oh, really?
And, like, we did it once, and we're, like, amazed. We're like, how'd you do that? Ah! And now it's like, yeah, it was probably quarter circle forward punch, like a fireball is in every game.
I just looked up a move list.
Yeah, why didn't we do that?
I don't know, because I don't know.
I think me and my friends were really stupid.
I think you guys were stupid. But yeah, so I played those all the time, and Final Bout was like on the PlayStation, and the art on the cover looked like Goku's wearing like a different colored thing.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's like,
so it was like,
it's so
and it was kind of like soft lit, and I was like, he's wearing that fucking sweet blue jacket, and I want that game. And I didn't find out until years later that it was like a repackaged garbage game. Like it was a repackaged SNES game or something, right?
No, that was a different one.
Oh, okay. Which one is that?
Okay, here's what happened. Dragon Ball GT Final Bout was released in America, and it was a 3D fighting game. It was 3D. You punched people.
Okay.
It was made for the PlayStation, and it was a steaming load of shit. But it was the only Dragon Ball Z game that had existed in America.
Okay.
Except I think there was like the very first one ever for the NES was released as like Dragon Power over here or something. But and then they finally made Budokai, and it was actually like a pretty decent game for the PS2, and that came out in America, and it was like a big hit. And so in order to, as like a quick cash grab, they took Ultimate Battle 22 it was a PS1 game released in the PS2 era just because they could. Mm-hmm. And even as a PS1 game, most of the sprites were from previous games in the series that were on the Super Nintendo, is what that was.
Okay.
I think I never knew why it was called Ultimate Battle 22.
It's probably 22 characters.
It could have actually been the 22nd game in the series. I don't know.
I just assumed that that's how many characters that were playable.
You know what? That's probably what it was.
Because here's the thing. Here's what's fueling my desire to get this Dragon Ball Z game is because the Naruto games. There's a new one that came out this year.
Okay.
And when it came out, there was a lot of people going like, "Oh yeah, the one from last year was really good." And I was like, "Well, I don't have enough money to buy a new Naruto game, but I'll buy that one from last year." And it was like $20 or something. This is like back in August or whatever.
Okay.
So I bought that, and it was like fun, and I was like, "Oh, this is just like a fun and like super stupid. Like, there's nothing.
Yeah.
There's no real depth here. It's just like a fun, weird game where I can go through and like,
fuck, come on."
And kind of like a button mash in a fun way. And then while that was happening, I was remembering like, oh, this is like almost exactly like the Tenkaichi games, but like not as good. So I was like, oh, if I'm having fun with this, I should probably get one of those games. And that was when I learned of the announcement for Xenoverse.
Okay.
And then I was like, man, I bet I should play that. So I've been wanting to get Xenoverse for like 6 months.
Really, the only thing that draws me towards it is that the logo is constantly on the front page of Steam, and it's like a pretty good logo. Like that's pretty much, that's all it is for me.
It's not even that you get to build. It's not even that.
And
okay, but here's
I will admit there's like a dumb part of me that's like drawn to the allure of like a different letter combination coming after Dragon Ball. Like, oh, it's like a new thing. It's Dragon Ball XV.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Z or GT.
Okay, but here's my pitch. This game, it is a Dragon Ball Z style.
Please pitch me on a Dragon Ball game.
Is a Dragon Ball Z style Hyrule Warriors game where you get to build your own Saiyan.
You're saying it's a Dynasty Warriors game?
No. It's in the style of the Dragon Ball Z games, but that's the whole point of the game is that you're like your custom Saiyan is traveling through time and interacting with all the Dragon Ball Z stories that way. Because you're not playing as Goku, you're playing as whoever the fuck. You're playing as Chris, the Saiyan.
All right, well, the character's definitely got to be named Chris.
You're playing as Chris, and Chris is going back and, like, fucking helping Bardock, or...
Here's
like,
the thing. At this point, I give 0 shits. I actually give negative shits. I demand that I receive shits back.
You want them to hand you shits?
For how little I care about recreations, retellings of the Dragon Ball Z story in any way, shape, or form.
The difference for me, and also I haven't had any sort of interaction with Dragon Ball Z since I watched the show when I was like 14.
Okay.
And like we talked about, I never bought any of the games, and I didn't keep up with watching any of the movies. So like I don't have any experience with retellings, but also from what I can tell from the games, they're just they're not retellings, they're just tellings. They're just like light tellings.
It's
this
like
is the first retelling
with like a different script, basically.
Right.
Like it's so
These
crazy
seem
because like the first Budokai actually did like a pretty good job. It had like full on cutscenes and all the voices, and like things were very abbreviated, but it kind of felt like you were watching the show, and it felt like a really cool way to experience the story with a game in there. But then they kept doing that, and it just felt like it kept getting like lazier and lazier and shorter, and like the voice actors cared less and less and less every single time until it just became this like insane like pale shadow of what Dragon Ball Z used to be.
The Naruto game had that where it was like at one point there was literally a 20-minute cutscene that was just footage from the show.
In the game?
In the game.
20 minutes?
Like 20 minutes, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a really good 20 minutes,
I mean, that's one way to do it, I guess.
Yeah, they fucking just threw 20 minutes. They edited like 2 episodes down to 20 minutes, and then we're like, okay, watch this. And I watched it, and it was good. It was good.
All right, fine.
Yeah, it worked.
Budokai 2 had this really weird board game system.
So it was kind of like Fortune Street. It was Dragon Ball Z Budokai Fortune Street.
It was like a weird like there was kind of like it almost like not like Mario Party where like you would go around the map or anything. It was kind of like you would be presented with a board game like battlefield, I guess, and the characters would move around on them. And they would all have, like, health bars. And so, like, some characters you would actually have to fight multiple times in order to kill them in the board game. And that was how that story mode worked. It was really weird.
That is weird.
It was the first one that had Majin Buu. Majin Buu.
We gotta love Majin Buu.
Oh, I can just do this. Or I can do this. That worked. Come on. What are you doing?
I'm just looking something up. I will say that part of the reason that I ended up buying that Naruto game was because the title was Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 3 Full Burst, and I thought that was just a really funny, stupid long title. And it is a game that matches that title for sure.
What was the... Do you remember what the Japanese title of Dragon Ball Z Budokai was?
Dragon Ball Z Sparking.
No, it was just Dragon Ball Z actually.
It was just Dragon Ball Z? Which one was Sparking?
Tenkaichi was called Dragon Ball Z Sparking, and then Tenkaichi 2 was called Dragon Ball Z Sparking Neo. I really liked that the Japanese and English titles like traded languages.
Yeah. And that they went super short and we went super long.
How to get here? Was I able to stand on that ghost? How is that working? Hey, ghost. Can I eat you? Oh. Now you're just like a thing. What?
It wasn't a ghost, it was tricky. Oh, can you move that ball? That bounce ball?
I doubt that. No. Well, now I'm up here. Alright, fuck that key. I didn't even care about that key anyway, so. Oh, I was already here before.
Isn't it just beneath you?
I mean, it's most of the things in this game are beneath me. You see what I did there? Oh, this is what I was supposed to fucking do. Oh my god.
Now you've got it.
I've got it. You got the touch. You aren't gonna pick that up?
I don't know what comes after. What comes after?
You got the power.
I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
What is this?
You got the touch.
I don't know what that is.
It's from Transformers the movie, but also it's from Saints Row 4, which was one of the most amazing parts of Saints Row 4. It's that part at the end where you have the power suit and you're like skydiving like within the alien base or something.
I still have like 5 missions left in that game.
You didn't finish it?
No.
What?
I had shit to do. I still can finish it. I didn't like...
You gotta finish it.
Alright, I'll finish it. I've also never seen the Transformers movie or the cartoon ever.
Yeah, I know that. But it was super great that they just started playing this crazy song that was only in the Transformers movie. Also, Transformers the movie is great.
I'm not saying it's not great. I'm just saying I've never seen it because it doesn't look great.
And I'm telling you that it's great.
This game's killing me.
It's almost over. I'm killing this game. It will be dead before...
I need the things that I'm hearing to change.
Right? God damn. How do I even with this? If I find out that like this is not where I need to be and I need to go back to the door and go someplace else, I'm gonna be very upset.
It's looking like that's what's up.